Another day, another set of bans, and today we have Palafin and Iron Bundle, the two water Ubers that were getting suspected to go back to OU. Not really suspected, more just getting voted on by the OU Council. And as you can see, Palafin and Iron Bundle were both pretty almost unanimously voted to stay in Ubers. I think it's hilarious that Flaming Victini, the person who's been abstaining from most of the votes, actually voted OU for both of these. I would love to hear Flaming Victini's logic. I'm sure there's a reason, right? But I'd love to hear it. Now, I just think that's funny to point out. So, why are these two going to stay banned? We'll talk about Palafin Hero first. Again, there's not really much to talk about with these two. Let me just say that out the right. There's not much to talk about these two because they're already OU this generation, and there were the same reasons that they got banned originally are still in place today. So, first off, Palafin. There's two good Palafin sets you can run. You can run the Bulk Up set, which is Bulk Up, Taunt, Drain Punch, and Jet Punch. Drain Punch helps keep your HP with leftovers. Jet Punch is awesome priority with Stab. You got a Terry defensive fairy typing, and your max Spadef, max HP on this thing. This thing was really good. It was hard. The only really answer there was to this was defensive Toxapex Haze or unaware Pokemon. But even unaware Pokemon had a lot of troubles dealing with it because of Taunt. Like, Dondozo is a good switch into this because we all know it's a very physically bulky Pokemon. But it couldn't really curse up on it either because you had Taunt for it. And Palafin has a good natural speed stat, so it's obviously always going to outspeed all the defensive Pokemon. So you just taunted it and you won. Palafin was enabled quite a bit by Shed Tail from oh my gosh, Cyclizer. So that not having that tool hurts it, but not really because Taunt Bulk Up is still pretty much undefeatable, really, to be quite honest. And even if you have a Pokemon that can move first, if you bring him out too late, you might just lose anyway because if you get a couple bulk ups up and then you Jet Punch, it's Jover. So let me show you what I mean by that. So like Meowscarada, right? Meowscarada is a good option because you can always... Actually, Meowscarada might be the one set that you could actually do something with because Flower Trick's a very confident Oko even if you're bulked up. So I would say, and yeah, Jet Punch is only doing 44 to 52. So Meowscarada is one of the only answers to it, which is still a good answer, but I don't think Meowscarada is used enough to be able to justify it being used. Let's see how much Great Tusk takes from this. Physically defensive. So yeah, even at +2, actually, it's still not taking a whole lot. But if you're at +2 defense with Palafin, you're really not taking much back from Great Tusk either. And the funny thing is, you can actually recover the amount of HP that it's doing to you. The only problem is you're going to get knocked off, which does suck. But, I mean, yeah. I don't know. I think Palafin is actually a lot more justifiable to bring back to the OU tier rather than Iron Bundle, where Iron Bundle is pretty much an open shut case, which I'll talk about in a second. But if this was the only Palafin hero set, then yeah, I would understand. But the problem is this isn't the only Palafin set, right? You also have the Banded Palafin set, which is just a max full out attacker with Wave Crash, Close Combat, Jet Punch, and Flip Turn. Flip Turn is great because you can just use it at the beginning of the game. Flip Turn out, get some chip off. You're probably going to outspeed him with a base 100 speed. And you get some chip off. You get to switch your hero mode within like the first turn. And you will pretty much always get a, you know, even if you have a bad lead, you can always just Flip Turn out into a better option. So it's great great turn one momentum. And then plus it also just has a great moveset of things it can do. Jet Punch, obviously, is a better version of Aqua Jet, always have priority, so even if you're not outspeeding some, you can still Jet Punch it. Close Combat's great coverage, and then Wave Crash is just super freaking strong, man. So that the Bandit set's a problem, obviously. I mean, this thing just does so much damage to pretty much anything. Like, let's look at Meowscarada now. Like, I know you're not outspeeding it, but there's just some calcs for some relevance. Yeah, this thing is just very strong. It's the second highest attack set in the game, I think, next to like Kartana that were allowed in OU at least. Oh, Kieran Black as well. So you might say like, oh well, Kartana's in OU. Well, like it has the same speed tier, and Kartana even has better attack. Yeah, but Palafin has way better bulk and a way better defensive typing. Water's an amazing typing, and even if water's a horrible typing, you can switch the typing now too. So you're typing, you're not defensively hindered, unlike Kartana, who is very obviously open in that regard, and it's just very exploitable. Also, Kartana can't really effectively run Sword Dance set as effectively as like Palafin can run bulky, so there's not really much of a mix-up with Kartana. Like if Kartana's running a Sword Dance set, you can obviously still bring out something Scarfed and then just kill it in one hit because it's so frail. But you don't have that problem with Palafin. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Let's move on to Iron Bundle. So Iron Bundle is a case where it has perfect coverage. And what does perfect coverage mean? It can hit everything relevant in the metagame for at least neutral damage. And I promise I just looked through everything with Ice Beam, Hydro Pump or Surf, depending on how risky you want to play, and Freeze Dry. You hit everything in the metagame for at least neutral damage. And at that, pretty much everything is a 2-hit KO to it. And let me show you what I mean. So, well, sorry. So there are multiple sets you can run of Iron Bundle, obviously, right? You can run a boots set. You can get boots on the ground, boots, to minimize your stealth rock damage. And you can obviously run booster energy as well. And we'll talk about booster energy in a second. But just to show you all how ridiculous Iron Bundle is, let's look at its specs. So, Topes of Pex, Assault Vest, one of the more fun sets in the metagame right now. Freeze Dry is a 2-hit KO. Very comfortable 2-hit KO at that. Don Bozo, right? Don Bozo is very bulky. Yeah, that thing literally gets OHKO'd by Freeze Dry. That is actually ridiculous. Skeledirge has a bad typing, obviously. Let's say it's tears up into Fairy. Yeah, it's still 2-hit KO. Even max HP, max Spadef, Skeledirge, it still gets 2-hit KO'd, even if it's not a fire type. That is how ridiculous it is. And let's say Terra Waters. Oh yeah, Freeze Dry is the 2-hit KO now. Good job. You did absolutely nothing and you wasted your Terra. Garganacci, Curse gets OHKO'd very comfortably. And here's the thing. Honestly, you don't need to run Hydro Pump on Iron Bundle. I just clicked Hydro Pump just to show you how ridiculous these calcs are. But if you guys have been paying attention, pretty much Surf is going to be a 2-hit KO on most of these Pokemon. Or in Garganacci's case, an OHKO. Anyway, so it don't really matter a whole lot, you know? I'm trying to think of other examples of good Spadef Pokemon. Baxcalibur, yeah, Baxcalibur is a decent resist, right? It takes only neutral at best. And you die to 2 Ice Beams. Wow, look at that. You could even die to 2 Freeze Dry. So even if you get the predict right, you're still dying to the weaker Freeze Dry. Azumarill, why can I not type? Azumarill Assault Vest. Yes, it is a set in here. Yeah, Freeze Dry is literally still 2 KO. That is, that is so ridiculous. That Freeze Dry still 2 KOs Azumarill AV. That is crazy. Oh yeah, Clodsire. Clodsire should be a good resist, right? Great Spadef Pokemon. Yeah, still very comfortably 2-hit KO'd with Hydro Pump. Even with Surf, it's a 2-hit KO. Yeah, look at that. And say he's Water Absorb. Freeze Dry is now... Ice Beam and Freeze Dry are still 2-hit KOs. So you don't even need to go for the Surf / Hydro Pump. Oh my god, this is a max Spadef Clodsire. You guys are starting to get my point, right? There's literally 0 answers to this thing at all. I literally cannot think of a single thing. King Gambit. Let's see King Gambit bulky Sword Stance. Yeah, Surf's a 2-hit KO. Hydro Pump might even have a chance to OHKO, it looks like. Yeah, it does. 18% chance to OHKO. Do I need to go on? This thing is just, Slowking. Actually, Slowking might be the one thing, right? Slowking might, nope, still 2-hit KO. Literally, nothing doesn't get 2-hit KO'd by Iron Bundle. It's ridiculous. Nothing can switch in on it. Basically, one of your guys has to die, or you have to get the craziest predict of your life in order to be able to live this thing. And also, did I mention it has a speed stat of 136? It's not just that it has perfect coverage with a 124 base special attack. It's that it has a 136 speed stat. Wow, not speed attack. Speed stat. Something that I would be interested is this Shitpow get killed by Hydro? Yeah, it does. It gets OHKO'd by Hydro Pump. It even gets OHKO'd by Surf from the looks of it. Yeah, it does. It's a guarantee OHKO for Surf as well. That is ridiculous. Because, and you know, Shimpao can't even outspeed it because literally Iron Bundle outspeeds it by one. Literally one. Pokemon Company was trolling with this one, man. With a decent defense stat too, you could reasonably take Sucker Punch, I think, too, even if it was to go for it. Let me look at that real quick. Sucker Punch. Yep. Yeah, you could literally stomach a Sucker Punch too. So, yeah. Iron Bundles is ridiculous. Nothing can switch into it because it was literally the entire metagame. It's too good. It's too OP. You can also run Boost or Booster Energy. And here's the thing with Booster Energy. Even at only 168 investment, you can still outspeed Adamant Dragapult with a Scarfed Adamant Dragapult. So, yeah, and then you can invest the rest into HP. And, yeah, you can mix up moves on the opponent. Obviously, a lot of those 2-hit KOs are going to be turned into 3-hit KOs without specs. But it also allows you to click other moves, which is just crazy. I wouldn't even put Flip Turn on this. What would I put on instead of Flip Turn? The problem is, oh, you put Terra Blast. Yeah, you do Terra Blast like Electric or something like that. Yeah. Even though you don't really need it, to be honest, because there's literally nothing that survives these 3 moves anyway. So you don't really even need Terra Blast, to be honest. In fact, I would Terra Blast Fighting, if anything. So that way you can goob King Gambulus. But, yeah, anyway. That's all I got. Iron Bundle's too good. Palafin's pretty good. But Palafin's a lot more justifiable to bring in over Iron Bundle. Which kind of surprises me that Iron Bundle actually only got 8 votes and Palafin got 9. But, you know, whatever. Yeah, that's all I got. What are you guys' thoughts? Leave them down in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. There'll be 2 more bans tomorrow. And that will be... It'll be Fluttermane and your Shifu R. I assume he meant your Shifu Single Strike, not Rapid Strike. So, it'll be interesting to see. I think there's a chance your Shifu gets back in. I don't think there's any chance that Fluttermane gets back in. If Fluttermane doesn't get a unanimous vote, it's because Flaming Victini voted for it to be an OU. So that's all I got. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.